You know what I hear very often? That cherry switches are the best thing ever, and all Chinese knockoff companies suck. That's not really true. It's actually almost the other way around. And so yeah, that's what I'm talking about today. Number 1. Knockoffs does what Cherry does, but better. We have the typical Cherry Mix blue, brown, and red switches. Then we have the knockoff versions of those. One of the knockoff company, Gatoron, does a great job on making a better version of those switches. Their switches are very smooth compared to Cherry. You might not notice Cherry switches being scratchy, but after trying these, it becomes very apparent. There are also many reports of tactile switches made by them being very pleasant compared to Cherry. Other than that, they offer a wider variety of linear switches. Gatoron Clears are switches lighter than red switches, and Gatoron Yellows, which is the switch this keyboard uses, are heavier than reds but lighter than blacks, which for me is the perfect weighting. Number 2. Knockoffs have more variety. I introduced you to Gatoron switches, which did have more variety, but it is nothing compared to Kaihua. You might know Kaihua. It's one of the companies that used to make Razer switches, but because of customer complaints, Razer switched. But since then, Kaihua started to improve and innovate with their switches and became absolutely great. They introduced the Box series of switches, which are IP56 water and dust resistant with a higher switch lifetime of 70 million keystrokes opposed to the 50 million of Cherry. The switches have Cherry MX red, brown, and blue equivalents. They introduced the click bar mechanism, which made clicky switches sound more sharp and clean, unlike the rattle that blue switches make, which I do not really like. Oh, and that's when they introduced the thick clicks. They are box switches with the click bar mechanism, but they offer a lot of tactility. Take a look at this. This is the force curve for Cherry Mix Blues, and that bump is the tactility. And then that's the box thick clicks. What the actual flip. They come in 2 weights, and honestly, the lighter one is freaking insane. Number 3. Cherry switches are expensive for what they are worth. If you go to mechanicalkeyboards.com, holy shoot, they are $10 for a pack of 10 switches. What the actual heck? Okay, if you're smart, you'd go to kbdfans.cn for $4 for a pack of 10, which is a lot better. Still, you can buy Gatoron switches for $2 for a pack of 10, and you can buy most Kaihua switches in the $3 to $4 range for a pack of 10. With the fact that Cherry switches don't really offer more than its knockoffs, the higher price tag is not really justifiable. And that's why Chinese knockoffs, believe it or not, are a better choice. I wish that companies will make more keyboards with those alternatives rather than Cherry, and the buyers to understand that there is nothing wrong with non-Cherry switches and actually might even be doing a favor for them. Look, they are what introduced me to the great hobby of keyboards, and their stabilizers are the freaking best. And I also gotta give them credit for the fact that Cherry was the only company to live through the curse of the rubber domes of the late 1990s and thrive until mechanical switches were popular again in the early 2010s. So yeah, I hope that Cherry steps up their game. Anyway guys, thanks for watching. Be sure to leave a like and subscribe, and I decided to open this Discord thing. If you want to join, then links in the description below. But yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video, whenever that might be.